Welcome to the Alcohol Reset, the podcast that helps you reset your habits, health, and relationship with alcohol without judgment or extremes. If you're looking to cut back, take a break, or just understand how drinking can affect your body and mind, you're in the right place. Each episode brings you science-backed insights on neuroscience, nutrition, and habit change to help you feel better, sleep deeper, and take control on your terms. I'm Mike Hardenbrook, best-selling author, neuroscience enthusiast, and habit change expert. I've helped thousands through my book and podcast to rethink their drinking, and now I'm here to help you do the same. Let's get started. Right, you're out somewhere, maybe grabbing dinner, meeting friends, you glance at the drink menu, and you see it, right? It's pretty obvious now. That old standard, the one where everything was about getting the strongest possible drink, it's kind of faded away. Instead, you've got all these sleek, low-ABV cocktails, lighter beers that actually taste good, drinks even marketed for, like clarity. And when you ask your friend what they're having, it's not give me the strongest, it's, I just want something chill. You hear that a lot. See, low alcohol drinking, it isn't some fleeting trend anymore. It feels like it's just the new normal. So this exploration today, we're going to really unpack how this intentional shift, how it happened. I'm Mike Hardenbrook. And we need to look at the culture, but also the science underneath it all. And maybe most importantly, what does this trend actually mean for, your day-to-day sharpness, your long-term health? Because there's a big question here. Is this genuinely a healthy middle path? Or is it just maybe the smartest rebranding of indulgence we've ever seen? And look, this matters now. Because for decades, alcohol culture was all about maximizing that buzz, getting the most bang for your buck, so to speak. But the whole vibe, it's flipped completely. Now, it seems people really prioritize control, clarity, getting back on your feet quickly the next day, recovery. The numbers, they definitely back this up. We're seeing data showing sales of low alcohol and even no alcohol drinks have just exploded, like over 30% growth in just the last year alone. And who's driving it? Well, it's heavily Gen Z millennials, but let's be clear, this isn't really about strict abstinence for most people. It feels more like finding that middle lane, somewhere between being totally sober curious and just kind of going all out. It's about being intentional, really deliberate. Okay, so let's dig into that first part, the big cultural flip. Why are these lighter drinks suddenly dominating the scene? How did that happen so fast? Well, I think the biggest force really is this kind of collision, this meeting point between the wellness movement and this idea of moderation. For a lot of people, the math is pretty simple now. Lighter drinks, that usually means less junk for your body to process, which translates pretty directly to fewer hangovers, right? And maybe less of that next day anxiety, and crucially, just better mornings, feeling functional. It's a quality of life upgrade people seem really willing to, even pay more for. And then you've got the whole mindful drinking movement, mostly online. Think about social media. All those creators, they're not just making hangover-free weekends seem normal, they're making it look cool, aspirational even. Sharing these amazing looking mocktail recipes, things that look just as sophisticated as the alcoholic versions. It shifts the whole story from, I'm missing out to actually I'm gaining control. It's a powerful narrative change. But okay, let's be real. It's not purely grassroots. Big brands follow the money. They always do. So you see giants like Heineken, Guinness, Aperol. They've invested heavily, not just chump change, but serious resources into developing and marketing low alcohol options. And they didn't just make it a sideshow product. They positioned it as premium, trendy, socially acceptable. You're not the odd one out for choosing it. And that's interesting, right? When these huge companies jump on a wellness trend, it stops being niche pretty quickly. It starts looking like the default. And then there's the science. That's the final piece, I think. For a long time, we kind of assumed, moderate drinking, probably fine, maybe even good for you. Them said more recent studies. They're pretty clear. Even what we call moderate but regular drinking, that does impact key things, specifically sleep quality, big one, gut health, and mood regulation. Once people started understanding that even just a couple of drinks could be messing with their sleep, and sleep affects literally everything, right? Performance, mood, energy. Well, that became a really strong motivator to, cut back a bit without feeling like you have to give up the social ritual or the taste entirely. Okay, so that brings us nicely to the science of, the science of enough. What's actually going on inside when you decide to consciously scale things back? The really striking thing is how fast your body responds. Pretty immediate. When you reduce how much you're drinking, even just a little bit, your system starts to recalibrate physiologically. It's unlike waiting weeks for something to happen. It's like your body breathes a sigh of relief and starts shifting away from just damage control. And the benefits, they're specific. You can often feel them. Those liver enzymes, the ones working overtime to process alcohol, they start to stabilize pretty quickly. And this is important, your cortisol levels, that's your main stress hormone. Alcohol metabolism makes it spike. When you drink less, cortisol starts to drop. That means you feel, well, less on edge, less stressed, generally calmer. And maybe the biggest impact for many people, sleep. Sleep quality improves, often dramatically. And better sleep lets your brain chemistry start to rebalance itself much more effectively. So the goal here, it isn't always about quitting entirely, though that's right for some. For many in this trend, it's about radical recalibration, and it's aimed squarely at improving quality of life, feeling sharper, less stressed, recovering faster. This ties right into the core idea I talk about in my book, No Willpower Required. It's about focusing on the outcome you want, that clarity, that energy, rather than focusing only on the restriction itself. But even if you're fully embracing this moderation thing, your body still needs support. It still has to process whatever alcohol you do consume, even small amounts, potential amounts. See, drinking uses up critical resources in your system, vitamins, antioxidants. And if you want to maintain that clarity, that quick recovery you're aiming for, well, strategic nutrient support becomes, honestly, pretty non-negotiable. When your body breaks down alcohol, it kicks off this whole process at a cellular level. And that process depletes certain essential vitamins. It demands a lot of antioxidant power. So based on the research, there are a couple of key nutrients that seem really essential if you're taking this intentional approach. First up is vitamin B1, thiamine. Science here is really solid. Alcohol, doesn't matter how much, it just drains your thiamine. And thiamine is absolutely crucial for brain clarity, energy production, for nerve health. So if you're looking for that intentional buzz, enjoying the moment, but staying sharp, staying focused, avoiding the fog, you really have to replenish that B1. And specifically, there's a form called Benfotiamine. That's the one research often points to. Why? Because it's fat soluble. Standard thiamine is water soluble. That soluble means your body can absorb it and use it much, much more effectively. So it's a really strategic way to support your nervous system when you're moderating. Okay, second key player. N-acetylcysteine. You might see it called NAC. Think of NAC as like the raw material your liver needs to build its main defense shield. So when your liver processes alcohol, it generates something called oxidative stress. It's damaging. NAC is a direct precursor to glutathione. And glutathione is your body's master antioxidant. It cleans up that mess. When you drink, your glutathione supply gets used up. It takes a hit. So supplementing with NAC helps your body rebuild that supply faster. It's like giving your system the rapid repair crew it needs to handle the metabolic fallout more efficiently. It definitely helps with liver detox and reduces that cellular stress. These aren't just trendy wellness things. This is about understanding the science, providing critical support for anyone who's serious about moderation. It's acknowledging that even low alcohol has a physiological cost, right? And actively supporting your system helps you maximize that recovery and keep performing at your best. Okay, so let's bring this all together. What's the big takeaway here? I think we can safely say we've entered the age of, let's call it conscious consumption, intentional consumption. The act of drinking, for many people now, seems driven more by flavor, by connection, by making a conscious choice rather than just, reflexive habit or trying to get hammered. And this isn't some slow, gradual thing. It feels like a pretty revolutionary shift in what consumers value and prioritize. The new standard, when socializing, maybe isn't aiming for more anymore. It feels like it's aiming, quite deliberately, for enough. Just right. And that pursuit of clarity, that focus on control, that intentional way of enjoying things without the big crash later, that's what makes this whole trend feel pretty profound, I think. So the question we'll leave you with, circling back to our initial thought, is this. When you reach for that low ABV option, are you generally doing it for the sharper mind tomorrow? For the better performance? Is it possible you're just buying into a very well-marketed premium version of control? Something that lets you indulge a little but still feel kind of virtuous about it. Making that choice consciously, holding yourself to that standard of true intentionality, that might be the real revolution we should all be focused on. Something to think about. Until next time, stay sharp. That's a wrap for today's episode. If you got something out of this, do me a quick favor, leave a rating and review on whatever podcast platform you're listening on. It helps keep the show going and would mean the world to me. Got ideas, comments, or questions? Shoot me an email at mike@trycloud9.com. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're looking for extra support, check out Cloud9, makers of Daily Restore, a once-a-day supplement to support your body from alcohol's effects, and Rise and Unwind AM/PM, a 24-hour combo to curb cravings, balance mood, and improve sleep when taking a break. Go to trycloud9.com and use the code PODCAST to save 15% on your next order. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time.